ลอดในช่วงเวลา 19 นาฬิกา
Now you're looking at footage of the fresh explosion of violence in Bangkok tonight. It has left a key figure in the anti-government protests seriously injured. Major General Katia Sawadipon, better known by his nickname Sedang, was shot in the head and rushed to hospital. Reports say he is now unconscious. The fiery general was shot as violence erupted while troops began to block the site of the weeks-long Redshirts rally. The army had earlier warned the protesters it will deploy more troops and armoured vehicles to seal off the area. It's also warned that it will not rule out using real bullets if things get out of hand. But it is still unclear who's responsible for the gunshots and explosions tonight. The Channel News Asia's IndoChina Bureau Chief Anasuya Sanyal joins us on the line now from Bangkok. Anasuya, tell us more about this violence. We saw what looked like balls of fire flying in the air. What's happening? Do we know how many people are hurt?
Well, there have been 20 people injured, but they weren't injured in that incident with the balls of fire in the air that were probably homemade rockets, really similar to fireworks that the Redshirt protesters have been firing into the air intermittently. It's important to draw a line between that and what happened to Major General Katia Sawadipon, better known as Sedang. He seems to have been shot with a high-powered rifle. The 20 injured I mentioned happened at the hospital where Major General Sedang was taken to be treated. The incident remains unclear whether or not there was some kind of confrontation at the hospital. But basically, this is what happened tonight in Bangkok. The pictures that you're seeing, these rockets being fired at the Saladang intersection of Silom and Ratchadamri Road. Ever since then, however, it's been tense but calm. No other conflagrations have occurred after the shooting of Sedang. Melissa?
Now, we hear that Sedang is unconscious. Have you heard anything else?
You know, there have been a lot of conflicting reports as to his condition. People have said that he's died, but we have not been updated on what is exactly going on. Thai TV had reported that he was taken from the ICU to get a CT scan. From the pictures that I've been able to see on the internet, he was basically being administered not oxygen, but was given an ambu bag, and his head was wrapped in bandages. No one precisely knows. It's been said that he's unconscious, and you would think that a bullet wound to the head, of course, would have serious repercussions, but no update yet on exactly what condition Sedang is in currently. Melissa?
Well, Sedang was one of the most outspoken leaders of the Red Shirts. Now that he's seriously wounded, how would that affect the Red Shirts and also perhaps the military people who might be loyal to him?
Well, that's an absolute understatement. Sedang, you know, many people who didn't like Sedang, they were not surprised to hear that he had been targeted for this kind of violent attack. He is very, very well liked among the rank and file of the Thai army. Of course, his shooter is unknown at this point. There are two ways that this could play out. One is, supporters of the opposite government who generally don't like Sedang might see this as a show of strength from whoever did this, and a indication, let's say, that the tide is turning towards the government's favor as they try to end these red shirt rallies by taking down, unfortunately, their most outspoken red shirt leaders. However, from what I can hear from the red shirt stage, if Sedang were to die, he would quickly become a martyr for the red shirt cause. Certainly many red shirts tonight extremely concerned about his condition. There's been a lot of speeches from the stage at Ratchaprasang, a lot of crowd, a lot of cheering and applause. He could become sort of a rallying cry for even more defiance of the government. Melissa?
Okay, well, we have to leave it there, Anasuya. Thank you so much for that live update out of Bangkok. Now, we also spoke to Dr. Pavin Chachavan-Pompun, a fellow at the Asian Studies Center of the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies, and he gave us his take that the government now has to act fast before the situation becomes critical.
They should anticipate an even stronger resistance from the Red Shirt now that, one of their core leaders has been shot. So I think the government will have to do something, and the government keep talking about doing something with the Red Shirt. Up to this point, to this very critical point, I think the government will have to decide once and for all talking about roadmap, I think roadmap now is almost irrelevant because the red shirt, even though initially agreeing with the roadmap, but yet again, came up with their own condition. I think the red shirt were never really interested in the roadmap anyway. Now that situation like this happened, I think the roadmap, like I said, it would be really totally another separate issue now, and the more and more chaos will perhaps come, and I'm afraid this might delay the election date.